2008 hotel industry was doing exceedingly well, and we are in a listed company, so our parent company is listed, but obviously our family controls a large part of the shareholding, so it is somewhat, the pain is personal when the company doesn't do well. And the really hard-hitting point was when some hotels around us were doing very well, and they are not as well known or as big as us, and they were sending extra business because their hotels were full in this declining market to us. So that was like the hit below the belt, which kind of made me wake up and realize we're doing something wrong. We've got a better brand, we're giving better value at lower price, and yet these guys across the road who are not so well known as us are sending us extra business. So that was a real wake up call for me, and that's when I picked up the phone and spoke to practically everybody that I knew in different businesses, and decided that I need to start going on sales call and understand what the best sales guys are doing to only keep the right sales guy, which was easier said than done. So I said that I can't find the right sales guy, so I thought I'll just poach his. So I put an HR consultancy in between, and since I knew that guy's name and he told me that that was the guy, I tried to get him on board. And then I'm having this conversation with him one day that why don't you join me? And so he said, why are you paying 50,000 rupees? I said, what, you want 50,000 rupees extra on your exit? He said, no, just pay me. And you can put it in the company, and I don't want to join you, I'm happy where I am, but you pay the... I said, but you're asking me for 50,000, I'll just call up. He's a family friend, I'll call him up and tell. He said, see, you can't call him, because if you could, you would have already called him. That's why I'm sitting in front of you without his knowledge. So if you want me to tell you one or two techniques which I'm using, pay 50,000 to the company. And I realized, well, that's why this guy's number one. And I promptly paid 50,000 and I learned few things from him. And that's how I realized that like this, each salesperson in so many different fields are knowing so many different ideas and techniques which we don't get to know because each one is using maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Right? And that's why I kind of compiled. So I'm not saying I invented any of these techniques, but I went through the painful process of 3-4 years of compiling from different salespeople what they're doing differently compared to others. And most of them that I realized unconsciously are using about maximum 7 or 9, 10 maximum of these techniques. Right? And so that's what sales magic particularly covers. The objective of scale is always to earn more. Right? So sales is all about prospecting, finding the right prospects, presenting well, and then closing the sale. Everybody like me, पर आप समझते नहीं है, मेरा धंधा अलग है, मेरा customer समझता नहीं है, वो अलग है. Remember, the customer is the same. The customer is the same. He buys whatever he buys, whether it's a CEO, MD, his secretary, the housewife. Everybody buys in a particular way, irrespective of whether they're buying capital goods, consumer goods, FMCG product. There is a system for buying. The prospect has a system for buying, and if you don't have a system for selling, he's going to use his system for buying, which is typically starts with no. Okay. So because we don't have a system, we fall prey to the prospect system.